Okay, let's guys. Which I am actually online. And of course, uh, for everyone who was expecting last week, I have to apologize. There's a game audio. This. Yeah, I must apologize because my fiance showed up at my place completely unannounced and stayed for a week, and I was okay. So yeah, I couldn't stream then. And since my Xbox 6, Xbox One controller has been started drifting really, really bad, I have decided to be like, okay, you wanna what? We are going to restart this PS4 because I have it on and play it here. Only difference between our other playthrough right now is I am not actually, I am a human and have all kinds of DLC. Few things I might have to redo because on this console I wasn't actually as far as I was Xbox, but I don't think that will be a problem. Ah, that's how I lock on. Gets the health bar up there. Okay, that not go too well, but at the very least I killed some, I guess. You know, dead Templars. Yeah, the thing is, my Xbox One controller started drifting really, really bad. There was a little bit of drift when we played it on here, but has now gotten so bad that it is playable. Well, basically, I have to get a new controller. That would set me back another bucks I do not have right now. Ahoy, Jesse. How are you? Ah, yeah. I've been awake for a few hours, you could say. 11 of them. So, yeah. Yeah, you're waking up to me executing deserted Templars and having to redo quite a few of the quests because I switched consoles. But it is actually better to do this than, wait until I can afford a new controller for my Xbox One. Because the one I have, it does technically work, but it has pretty bad analog stick drift. And result is that games like this, where I kinda need control of my camera, are almost unplayable. Ow! How did you see me? I was in stealth. How did you see me? Serves you right. Burn. Burn. Potion. Don't tell me the stick on this controller is also drift. TF2 is not my kind of game. I've tried it, but I like Overwatch better. Yeah, I can relate. There's a character in Overwatch called. I just had her name in my head. Basically, she's a hacker, and she can also go invisible. Which in some cases is actually pretty. Yeah, Sombra, right. She is kind of hilarious because um, if you have an enemy team that has been preparing to rush your point, they've all been saving their ultimates, and then they rush onto your point, all activate their ultimates, and then you rush in with Sombra and activate your ultimate. Um, they will hate you forever. I I guarantee that. Yeah, that is like she hacks everyone's special abilities, and it is just amazingly annoying. Let's put it this way. And I remember I once I found this kind of funny because I was playing Sombra. I mained her for a while, and the enemy team had Farah. Farah is this girl with the jetpack and rocket launcher, and the enemy Farah was trying to get basically to our spawn point using her jetpack. I saw that, and while she was like floating over the nothingness, I decloaked behind her and hacked her, deactivating her jetpack. I did that so many times. Did that enough times that she eventually hard focused me. And in the end, just because I managed to kill her, I think like 20 times or so like that, I got a gold medal for that, for most environmental kills, basically. Well, to be fair, you can kind of predict what happens in Overwatch 2 if you know what you're doing. Kind of the whole thing. But we'll give this instead because this gives bonuses. She doesn't just fall with style, Jesse. Mercy can, with her ultimate, actually fly. And that works quite well, I can. Ooh, so before Wrecking Ball? Okay. Back then, I think Mercy's ult was Mass Revive, where she would resurrect her entire team. Everyone who was in her revive range, basically. Nowadays, a revive is actually a skill and like a normal skill. And it instead only resurrects one person. That her ultimate is now, I think it's called Valkyrie, where she then spreads her wings, flies up, and depending on what beam you're using, if you use the enhancement beam or the what was it? The healing one. Basically, you target one person, you shoots him with your healing beam, and it would jump over to the next party member in range. So you can basically heal your entire team if they're standing close together, or enhance all of their damage output. Which is kind of nice. And if you're playing Mercy as a main and are relatively good with her, this mode is actually freaking dangerous. For everyone fighting you, I mean. Because your attack speed is also increased. So when you take out her little pew-pew, you very quickly can take down even tanks. If you are able to handle her pew. Because that pew-pew is kinda like a pea shooter. But even a pea shooter that goes brrr can, kill someone. Okay, let's set up a camp here. Lol. Okay, I guess to each their own. No, we're not buying followers. And hence, you get banned. Another one? Wow. Wow. 2 in a row. 3 in a row. What the hell? What's going on here? Basically, Jesse, you can click on them, and then there's a little cross-out thing that bans them. You as a mod should also be able to do that. But hell, 3 in a row. I mean, what the hell? We've had bots in here before, but that's kinda ridiculous, if you ask me. Those bandits didn't stand a chance. There's another campsite up there, according to the map. If you really want to, but I doubt that you want to, Derpster. We're not at Opera here, where we say, you get this, you get this, you get this. No, no. Bans are only doled out to those who deserve it, or try to sell me followers. Okay, one moment, let me kill that bear. We'll hydrate in a second. Seriously, bears in this game are freaking monsters. Okay. Let's hydrate. Prost. Did the bear drop anything? No. Yes, he did, and there are more wolves. God. Gosh darn you guys. Means wolves, by the way. Oh, and that ram there died, because he was in my explosive radius. Explosive arrows, your best friend. Well, there's at least one advantage for me to playing this for you on the PS4, and that is that on the PS4 I don't think I have guns in this game. Yeah, as I was saying, on the PS4 I actually have all the DLCs. Because I, back in the day, bought the deluxe edition. And never finished the game. Never once. And I find it kind of hilarious that this bear only gives me 27 XP. Come on. How much? I mean, I've killed both bandits that interfered in the fight, and the bear is still alive. And I didn't even aim at them. They just died through, area damage. And there's yet another bear. Come on. Set up camp. Why is that bear hurt so badly? Did it just burn to cinders? Okay. I mean, why not? I guess. Don't think you want to do that. Or as I usually say as a DM, are you sure? My character doesn't even fall over. She's just standing there. Barely deal any damage on them. Ooh, almost 600. That was actually not bad for a level 5 character. Might yet be able to do this rift. Or not. Yeah, better not. Yeah, nope. Not happening. That is so not happening right now. Ah. Well, then I'm glad you're feeling better, Jesse. I will also freely admit that I wish you had been there yesterday. Because that was... Yeah. Oh? Elaborate? I miss something? Hmm. Okay. Well, to be fair, it doesn't matter much now because whatever was magicked into his inventory is now gone. But yeah, it does interest me. What did you think about the encounter in general? Okay, I'm glad we agree there. I will tell you right now that it very easily looks like this will be soon over, likely next week, because of what happened yesterday. So, yeah. Kinda makes me wish I had not run that encounter. So, to be fair, and that also midnight, they had the chance to walk away any point and not engage. Yeah, sadly. So it looks like the first character death will also be the end of the campaign. Yeah. And believe me, a certain purple puppy is really angry about that. Holy shit, we actually survived that encounter. I did not think I would win this. Actually thought I would have to retreat. Yeah. 9 points of damage. Someone was turned to dust. Or how does that song go? As one bites the dust. Yeah. Yeah. The result will very likely be the death of the campaign at the session. Which saddens me, to be quite honest with you, because I was really rooting for you guys. After all the work I've put into the setting and everything, I find it a bit disappointing that it will end this way, but it is how it is. It would all depend on what Gibbs does next, basically, but You know how it is. I would basically just be running this thing for Gibbs because I'm fairly certain Clovis will walk away and Emerus is also about to do that from what your brother told me. And maybe I should just go ahead and write the world setting and everything down. Put it down for others to run if they want to. Because right now I don't have everything down. Other hide rate. Yo. Please don't. Ida's okay, a great sword. I think I'll keep for now. One of my characters can wear the superior hunter's coat. I would have to agree with that message, yes. I cannot wear the warden helmet of Everett. Tarambasa own power. Okay, at least now the inventory is a bit uncluttered. Accessory. Poisoned weapons. Uh. Cooldown amulet and ring of attack. First amulet of power, because it will. An amulet and enhanced thingy traits. Sigil of the Highland Ravager. Okay. So let's all the side quests here. Ugh. This game you could basically just this area. Look at the map. In my personal opinion, just this area could be an entire game. So big. I already know your wife needs some potion. Only your son can brew it, so we'll go get it for you. Small. Actually, this map is if you really want to walk everywhere using no fast travels, and this map alone is quite big. And this isn't even all. There's until a certain part, there's one part of the map that's still walled off for us. Can't go to Castle Redcliffe, or not even castles, just the village. We can't go to the village Redcliffe yet. This is all just the outskirts of Redcliffe. Castle is all the way up here. Or at least the town is, and the castle is somewhere here. Believe me, huge area. Huge area. I have spent hours and hours just in this one area. If it's just content you want, then I would say, you've got it right here. Game is definitely worth its money in that regard. And if you consider that you can get the ultimate, deluxe edition, basically the one I have, for $30 nowadays, that's a good value. I can also genuinely understand why people didn't like the game. Okay, let's check the quest map. My lover's phylactery. We have to go back into town. Stretch. Okay. Believe me, I can use that today. I have several times today tried to, that's actually why I got up so early. I've tried since this morning to do a very important phone call and just can't seem to get them on the phone. Very annoying. That is a modified line from Castlevania Symphony of the Night, set by Dracula, and he says, What's a man but a miserable pile of secrets? Is there desync? Is the game not synced with the audio? Okay. Wait a second. Do you even get game audio? Okay. I think I know where the problem lies. Let me see. Ah. Because I was outputting the audio on my, like, via my controller, that you didn't hear the game. Now you should be able to hear the game. I actually had already caught up, Jesse. The problem is,
I'm pleased to hear.
then the Xbox version that we were playing, I could technically still play that. Problem is, my Xbox One controller has started drifting so bad that the camera is basically all the time going like this. Then I reset it, and then a few seconds later it goes again like this. So, and sometimes the left stick will drift as well, and so my character will just do this. And so I decided to go like, okay, you know what? Until I can get a new Xbox controller, let's just stream from the PS4. So we're now catching up on the PS4. All those hours for nothing.
You're with the Inquisition. Corporal Vale, thanks for your help. The Majors and Templars don't seem to care who gets caught in their war. The refugees here are in dire need of help. If the war doesn't kill them, cold or starvation will.
What can you tell me about the man who's supposed to be getting horses for the Inquisition?
Horsemaster Dennett. He lives on a farm to the west. Tough old fella. We haven't heard from him. Best we can tell, he's holed up until the Majors and Templars are done killing each other.
Farewell.
And you as well.
Okay, let me just move my webcam for a second. Grab the webcam, not the game capture. On. Okay, I have the power required for this. So we could go and visit Horsemaster Dennett. Which would make sense because it's part of catching up. And he has a, you know, thingy on his farm. A rift, which gives us XP. So, you know, it's a win-win. Wait, this was definitely the wrong camp. Yes. This is the right camp. Okay. Fair enough.
Nothing to report, sir.
But yeah, you see, playing with a controller that drifts so bad is just no fun at all.
One down!
And so instead, you know, since I have it on PS4, I was like, you know what? We're not that far in yet, so let's do this. Okay. We will have to see, Jesse. We'll have to see where this goes. You know I'm open for almost anything. Yep. I must agree, the firework effects in this are actually pretty nice. And let me see if this works. All I have to basically say to that is...
It's over 9,000!
Yeah.
This must be Master Dennett.
It's over 9,000! What?
So you're the
9,000?
Inquisition, eh? Here you're trying to bring order back.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level?
To be some free marcher's
It's
number.
over 9,000!
I served Al Eamon for 30
What?
years as
9,000?
I hear your Inquisition is looking for Mouse.
It is. Can you help us?
Not at the moment. I can't just
The thing is
send
this.
100 of the finest horses in Ferelden down the road like a friend
Akira
of-
Toriyama,
Every
the
bandit
the
between
writer
us and Haven
of
would be on them like flies on a
Dragon
trap.
Ball, he
You'll have
actually
mounts once I know
only
they won't
brought
have a
power
little
levels
breakfast.
in to, you know, show how pointless they are, and was completely baffled when people latched onto it.
That sounds more than reasonable.
Glad to hear it. My wife Elena manages the farms and Bron's in charge of my guards. They'll tell you what they need. Until then, you deserve something better than whatever knock-kneed
It was a
clown they
translation
give.
error, Jesse.
The chestnut over there is a pure
It was a
bred
translation
Ferelden
mistake.
Ford. Take care of
Also,
him,
the
and we'll
reason
take
why
care of you.
Super Saiyans came to be is also completely mundane. Completely mundane. Because, get this,
farmers back safe in their fields. Since the breach appeared, the wolves have gone mad. They come after our men like beasts with the water sickness. You deal with
Akira Toriyama,
Our farmers will be
his assistants were complaining about coloring in Goku's hair all the time. You know, with black. And so he was like, you know what? Then let's make him blonde. And that's how Super Saiyans came to be.
They're possessed or something like it. I've lost too many men to the beasts. I won't endanger more.
It's a little known fact.
Farewell.
Good day to you.
But a fact that I kind of find funny, you know? Oh, so you don't want to color in these characters' hair all the time? Oh, we'll just make them blonde.
The Master doesn't want me handing those refugees weapons until they've got any hope of defeating
Yeah, that was basically Dragon Ball's MO.
before the next attack.
But in that regard, I can only recommend to you, go and listen to one of my fanfic readings, or read the story yourself. It was one of my earlier readings, so quality might vary from what I produce nowadays. Just warning you.
Farewell.
It's called Through the Eyes of Another Pony. The author, in one of his blog posts on FimFiction, openly admits that he's a troll. To this day, he has not finished the story. Well, in a way he has, okay? In a way he has, but only in the way where he has posted the last chapter and the second to last chapter, but there are, I think, 3 chapters missing in between. And he quite literally went the same route and was like, let's see how much I can get away with. And he got away with a lot. He got away with a lot. Like, Celestia and Luna are only, I think, 2 years old in that story. Even though they're fully grown. And then there's this other Pegasus, who belongs to a special guard who's over 9,000 years old, and who races Rainbow Dash and almost loses. But he beats Rainbow Dash at her game at 9,000 years old. There's only one thing that I think that story did really, 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 really well. And that is Prince Blueblood actually has character development. He has actual character development. And he gets beaten up. I think something that almost... Dude, if you read that story or listen to it, Blueblood has a whole character arc. And it's a good one. Written very believably. Okay, have a good day. But yeah, I personally think that story was, in that regard, done really well. I mean, the story in itself isn't bad, you know? It even spawned an entire sub-fandom, basically. There's even a song about the main character called Firewall. I'm a firewall. Because the main character eventually calls himself... Hello, John. And yes, he actually does have a very good character arc in that story. And at the beginning, of course, he gets beaten up. But yeah. All in all, I think Through the Eyes of Another Pony is a really good story, but give me a second. Let's see. Yes. Actually, if you look for Through the Eyes of Another Pony on YouTube, the song that I means Firewall is actually the first result. And I will play it for you here. Simply because I love that song.
My brony's dream, it has come true. You can't imagine what I've been through. I fell asleep last night without a care. Then I found myself in Ponyville Square. Now I can't tell if I'm dreaming or just dead. Not to mention all the voices in my head. Yeah, am I going insane? I don't even really know my name. Let's go! I met the the ponies we all adore. I can't believe it, I'm just bored. So many equestrian sights to see. Princess Luna just might have a crush on me. We fell in love beneath the beautiful moonlight, because frankly things aren't going quite right. Just what will happen, who can see? But I found a name that finally suits me. I'm a firewall, I'm gonna break your fall. Equestria, it needs me, watch your back, cause the nightmare's back again. But there's no stopping me, you'll find it's plain to see. But only when you've seen things through the eyes of another pony. Now we come back to our story already in progress. The evil nightmares trying to possess our lunar princess. But then I saved her and kept her from falling into madness. But now the nightmares leave the situation was quite hopeless. I've got the feeling that things aren't as they should be. And something tells me that it probably involves me. There's someone lurking, masterminding these events. But I'm not a smart pony, so it doesn't really make much sense. I'm a firewall, I'm gonna break your fall. Equestria, it needs me, watch your back, cause the nightmare's back again. There's no stopping me, you'll find it's plain to see. But only when you've seen things through the eyes of another pony. I'm a firewall, I'm gonna break your fall. Equestria, it needs me, watch your back, cause the nightmare's back again. But there's no stopping me, you'll find it's plain to see. But only when you've seen things through the eyes of another pony.
Okay, come on, spawn me more monsters. So yeah, there you had the song about Firewall, the brony who ended up turned into a pony in Equestria. I really wish that Park's Laughter, that's the author, actually went ahead and finished it. But I don't think he has even been online for years by now. So the thing is, if you technically take the unrevised story and the revised story and combine them, then you basically have the entire story. But, you know, personally I think the revised one is way funnier.
Your kind killed the most holy.
Lies. Your kind let her die.
Shut your mouth, mate!
Enough!
Knight Captain.
That is not my title. We are not Templars any longer. We are all part of the Inquisition.
And what does that mean exactly?
1 2 1 2.
Back already, Chancellor. Haven't you done enough?
I'm curious, Commander, as to how...
Well, according to OBS, you have audio.
will restore order as you've promised.
Of course you are.
Ye should be able to hear me.
Mages and Templars were already at war. Now they're blaming each other for the Divine's death.
Which is why we require a proper authority to guide them back to order.
Who? You? Random clerics who weren't important enough to be at the conclave.
Can you hear me now?
Rebel Inquisition and its so-called Herald of Andraste? I think not.
Hello.
If the proper authority hadn't completely failed, the conclave wouldn't have been needed.
So you suggest I blame the Chantry and insult a murderer? What of justice?
That won't help restore order in the here and now.
Order will never be restored so long as this rebellion is allowed to fester.
Roger that. Will do.
I'll make sure they see reason in Val Royeaux.
I pray you're right.
That's good that you can hear me. Because otherwise... And yes, I was just moving my lips there.
Fine. We'll gather our own. Tell you're back. And in one piece.
Farewell.
Come on. A little bit of fun. After all, you know, fun is what this should be all about. Right? Fun for everyone. And that includes me. Fan-terrific! Yeah, I remember when I visited someone in America at some point, and he was listening to my Fallout Equestria Project Horizons reading. He found it so weird that I could do that voice without a voice changer, you know?
Researcher Minave wishes to verify that the
But I can.
The Inquisition cannot remain a method if you can't prove it was founded on Justinian's orders.
This is an inopportune time, Marquis. More of the faithful flock here each day. But allow me to introduce you to the brave soul who risked...
I might not have the biggest range of voices, but I at least have a few.
Sir Trevelyan, may I present the Marquis d'Aurelion, one of Divine Justinia's greatest supporters.
And the rightful owner of Haven.
And all of them I have practiced since 2013, since I started doing YouTube videos.
Interesting, considering the Inquisition was begun by the left and right hands of the Divine.
I've seen no written records from Sister Liliana or Seeker Penticus that Justinia approved the Inquisition.
If he won't take her at her word, I'm afraid Seeker Pentagast must challenge him to a duel.
What?
It is a matter of honor among the Navarans. Shall I arrange the bout for tonight?
No. No.
Well, he backs down. He doesn't want to fight Seeker Pendergast, and I cannot fault him for that. I wouldn't want to fight Seeker Pendergast.
Divine Justinia would not want her passing to divide us. She would, in fact...
Most Orlesians actually wear a mask like that, Jesse.
No matter how strange they might seem.
Once we go to Valroyo, you will actually see that almost the entire frickin' population wears those masks.
The Inquisition might stay in the meanwhile.
Basically, one mask more ridiculous than the other.
I apologize for the intrusion. I didn't realize you were meeting with the Marquis.
You did little harm. In truth, the debate was most beneficial as practice for those to come.
You expect more people in Haven?
Undoubtedly. And each visitor will spread the story of the Inquisition after they depart. An ambassador should ensure the tale is as complimentary as possible.
Mayor Manx? Let me have a look. 1 second. Okay, the only thing I can find is Mayor Manx got run over by a kangaroo. Hello? Hello, I'm Mayor Manx. I think I would have to watch that show to actually, know what this character's all about. Okay, let's go back to here.
The Inquisition is lucky to have you as an advocate, Lady Montillier.
Thank you. Let us hope so. Thedas's politics have become agitated as of late. I hope to guide us down smoother paths. But please excuse me.
So was my impression at least decent? Because the video that I just listened to real quick was highly edited. It was basically a YouTube poop. Okay. I would, as I said, I would have to watch it to at least try to get this right, but,
To work?
yeah. The Bog Unicorn? The creature has arrived. It is just as unnerving as expected. Okay. Hard in Hightown 3. Okay, let's send Liliana on that. See, I have loads of, you know, old shows that I loved when I was a kid. Okay, let's go to Valroyo, because those missions will take a while.
Having the herald address the clerics is not a terrible idea.
And then you can see how they dress in Orlais.
Giselle isn't wrong. At the moment, the Chantry's only strength is that they are united in opinion. And we
So one of my favorite shows when I was a kid
Let's ask her.
was Bionic 6.
I'm more concerned this won't actually solve any problems.
I agree. It just lends credence to the idea that we should care what
Bionic 6 and Mystic Knights.
Mother Giselle said she could provide us names. Use them.
But why?
You likely never heard of either of them.
What choice do we have, Liliana? Right now we can't approach anyone for help with the breach.
And of course my absolute favorite, Alf.
Call the clerics together. Once they are ready,
The alien life form.
this through.
Okay, let's address it. Chantry and Valroyo. The thing is, I had midnight over last week. This is why I wouldn't stream last week, because I was just too occupied. And at one point we watched something that she has never seen before. She has seen the Smurf movies, you know, the CGI movies. She's, however, never seen the original Smurf cartoon. And so I watched like the first 3 episodes with her.
Your skills of observation never fail to impress me, Varric.
She was intrigued.
What have you found?
The Chantry mothers await you, but so do a great many Templars.
There are Templars here?
I still have a few DVD boxes that...
From the Inquisition. They're gathering on the other side of the market. I think that's where the Templars intend to meet you.
Well, John, my dear fiancé is 11 years younger than me. So... that could be a reason. In her childhood, those things were no longer on TV, really.
As you say, my lady.
I'm closer to 40 than 30, and yeah. But yeah, as you can see, this is a cleric, he doesn't wear a mask. But even these guys here, these are the town guards. I am sorry, but I would not be able to take them seriously. Well, look here. Okay, have a good one, Jesse.
Valroyo, hear me. Together, we mourn our divine. A naive and beautiful heart, silenced by treachery.
Silenced by treachery, really?
Wonder what will become of her murderer Well, wonder no more. Behold, the so-called Herald of Andraste, claiming to rise where our beloved fell. We say this is a false prophet. No server of anything beyond
You always have to say something bad about me, don't ya?
And do you know everything the Maker commands? Look up in the sky. I alone survived the breach, and I can end it.
It's true. The Inquisition seeks only to end this madness before it is too late.
It is already too late. The Templars have returned the Chantry. They will face this Inquisition, and the people will be
At least the stream quality should be superb right now. Oof.
Still yourself. She is beneath us.
Here's a question for you, John. Have you ever played Dragon Age?
What's the meaning of this?
Her claim to authority is an insult.
Because if you haven't, I can only highly recommend it to you.
It's imperative that we speak with...
Starting with Dragon Age Origins. And in Dragon Age Origins, one of our advisors in this game is actually a companion, Liliana. And Liliana will tell you in terms of birds there, that she remembers a party where someone had like hair like Marge Simpson and had birds worked into her hair.
You who'd leash our righteous swords with doubt and fear. If you came to appeal to the Chantry, you are too late. The only destiny here that demands respect.
I have the Ultimate Edition for of Dragon Age Origins for PC, Xbox 360, and PS3.
If you're not here to help the Chantry, then you just came to make speeches.
I came to see what frightens old women so.
Dragon Age 2, however, I
But Lord Seeker.
I must say, if you want to play it on console.
You are called to a higher purpose. Do not question.
The thing is, I bought the Deluxe Edition for PC and for PS4 back in the day of Inquisition. I've never finished it. I don't know why, I just never could bring myself to do it.
Less than nothing. Templars.
There was also always this thing with, I think I was also a bit spoiled back then, like with games basically, you know, not having super high level enemies in a low level area. And in Inquisition, I literally run into a freaking dragon in the first area.
Do you think he can be reasoned with?
I hope
You haven't finished any of them. Well, Dragon Age 1 and 2 I finished. Dragon Age 1 I actually completed, so I did everything. Basically played all the origin stories, played all the different scenarios, all the different endings. It's my favorite game of all time.
Now we have been shown up by our own Templars, in front of everyone. And my fellow clerics have scattered to the wind along with their convictions.
I know that feeling, but you must understand, at the time when I was playing this game the most back in the day,
Do you have a better explanation?
I basically only had a laptop that could run the game at relatively low settings in 1024 by 680.
It's not too late. The Chantry could still help us and come out on top.
So it was basically one of the few games that I could actually play. And I did so to my heart's content. So there's another game that I would kinda like to stream, but I have lost my disc. Otherwise, I definitely would. And that is Sudeki. In my opinion, in my personal opinion, Sudeki is a appreciated masterpiece.
What's that? An arrow with a message?
Dude, I always try to get physical copies of games if I can. If there's a possibility, I will always try to get a physical copy. Because I'm not a big fan of the whole only downloadable games and stuff. That is BS times 10.
There must be something here.
So, personally, I do have one game in my Steam library. And kudos to Steam and the other publishers who have not removed it from my Steam library, that you can no longer buy. And it was also one of the first games that I actually streamed. And that game is The Legend of Korra, Avatar The Legend of Korra PC game. I got it in a Humble Bundle back in the day. My ex was a real fan of the Humble Bundles, and yeah. Ooh, we have a store here. Let's see, what do you sell? Spiked longbow? He sells weapon schematics. That is very nice. Of course, wants a spiked longbow. And we'll take this thrusting longsword. I, however, also have a few games that I officially cannot buy in Germany. One of them being Alien vs. Predator, the 2010 edition, for PS3. Which I got with my PS3, actually. When I bought my PS3, I got it with 2 games. And the games were Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots, and Alien vs. Predator. And that particular Alien vs. Predator game is banned in Germany. It is a UK import, apparently. At least the back says that it's a UK version. Same goes for Dying Light. Dying Light I have on Steam and on PC. On Steam and on PS4. It's not it's not. No, not because it's from the UK. The AVP 2010 game is banned in Germany because of its gore. That game is seriously gory. I mean, when you're playing the Predator, you can literally take trophies. Like, for example, if you perform an execution move, you can, like on a Marine, for example, you can take your wrist blade, jam it up someone's back, and then, yep, you can, by Mortal Kombat 10 here. I know, German censorship doesn't make sense. At all. Well, great minds think alike, dude. All I can say is there are so many games that are technically, or pieces of media in general, that are technically banned here, where I must scratch my head and ask myself, why? Why are they banned? Why wouldn't they want people to see that? Just to give you an example, the original Wolfenstein 3D, it's forbidden. You're not allowed to play an uncensored version of that here. It's banned. Because the soldiers have a swastika on their uniform. Or what else? Blood 2. If any one of you knows Blood 2, Blood 2 is one gory shooter. The thing is, John, to this day, I have the argument with my father that video games rot your brain and make you stupid. And I denounce that statement. Because a lot of my problem-solving skills I learned from video games.
If it's help with the breach you seek, perhaps my people are the wiser option.
Does that mean the mages will help us?
We are willing to discuss it with the Inquisition at least. Consider this an invitation to Redcliffe. Come, meet with the mages. An alliance could help us both.
Yeah, my dad,
I hope to see you there.
like anything with video games, he's just like,
Come, let us return.
nope. When he found out back in the day that I was playing World of Warcraft, oh my god. He went ahead, because back in the day I was using his internet connection, because I was living with him. and he went ahead and reduced the speed my computer could browse the internet with, just so that I would stop playing that game. He basically deprioritized my computer in the router. And to be fair, I loved Vanilla Warcraft. I loved it. It was amazing. And I really got into it with Burning Crusade. Actually, still have a few max level characters. To be fair, I played a healer for the longest time. Draenei Cleric. But, Draenei Priest, whatever. However, I stopped playing a Draenei Priest when I was around level, I think, 68? 69? Because I went into a dungeon with few tanks in a row. Those were different groups, you know, dungeon finder basically. And they were just so stupid. Like, I would spam in the chat /OOM, 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 basically indicating before I was running out of mana that I needed a mana break, you know? The tank ignored it. And just ran into groups and ran. And we were in this one dungeon, I remember it was like an overrun dwarven city. And we came to a part that had been a tavern before. And I just walked up to one of the benches with my character and sat down. And the funny part is that all the damage dealers did the same. They also sat down. The tank didn't. He kept rushing. And of course he died. And then he was going off on me in chat and everyone then turned on him. It was like, dude, you are such an asshole. Scroll up. He has like told you 20 times that he needs a mana break. Yeah, but that happened to me like one day, I think 10, 15 times in a row. And after that I was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm starting another tune.
So, Herald of Andraste. You're a strange one. I'd like to join.
And then I made myself a dual-wielding Draenei warrior, which I played for a while. It was real fun.
I sent you a note to look for hidden stuff.
And later on I switched to Horde and made myself a Tauren druid.
So is a fence in Montfort, some woman in Kirkwall. There were 3 in Starkhaven, brothers or something.
That druid kicked ass.
It lets little people, friends, be part of something while they stick it to nobles they hate. So here, in your face, I'm Sarah. The friends of Red Jenny are sort of out there.
Welcome back, Jesse.
To help you. Plus arrows.
The Inquisition is almost an army now. Can you add to it?
Here's how it is. You important people are up here, shoving your cods around, blah blah, I'll crush you, I'll crush
But yeah.
you.
The one that I really enjoyed the most was in the end my druid, because
Generals and oath belchers. And sure, you have
I just don't know why. It was like we were in an instance, and at first the tank would have problems in a raid. I think it was Orgrimmar, like attack on Orgrimmar, and the tank would have trouble holding aggro from the rogue at first, and then my Owlkin form got ready, so I could turn into my Owlkin form. So I turned into my Owlkin form and just spam like 4 dots on that thing, and then boom, 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 boom. Just keep casting my most damaging spells, and suddenly that boss is after me. So I out-damaged the rogue. Which I found very funny. I have, I think, wait, what do I have on max level? My druid, then I have a Tauren Paladin that, however, I didn't make. It was when Battle for Azeroth came out, and my brother was like, hey, I see you've got World of... Well, step-brother, I might say, not, you know, biological brother. Hey, I see you've got World of Warcraft installed. Mind if I play a bit? I'm like, sure, just, you know, make yourself a new character, don't mess with my main. So, while I was cooking, he played a bit of World of Warcraft. When I logged in that evening to do a few raids with my guild, I saw that this absolute asshole had used my max level up token that I'd gotten with the purchase of Battle for Azeroth, and created himself that Tauren Paladin. Mm-hmm. I was pissed. He has never replaced that, by the way. I told him to, you know, pay me back for that token, because a new token would be $60. And nope. Then again, haven't seen the guy in how long? Blah.
Lady Trevelyan of Ostwick,
I think
representing the Inquisition.
the last time I saw him was like half a year after the release of Battle for Azeroth.
Every event becomes so tiresome. So you must be a guest of Madame de Fer. Or are you here?
Okay, have a good rest of your day, Jesse.
I have heard the most curious tales of you.
Yep, it was my token, but he didn't care.
Everything you've heard, completely true.
The thing is this, with my stepbrother, he was always like this. Like, you borrowed him something, and you better not count on getting it back. To this day, this guy owes me $300.
No one can take them seriously. Everyone knows it's just an excuse for a bunch of political outcasts to grab power.
Because back in the day, I wanted to be a good brother. And he basically had fallen onto bad times, couldn't pay his rent, and so I borrowed him some money.
With foul magic dripping from your hands.
And
We know what your Inquisition
I never got it back.
If you were
Even though I know for a fact that he's earning quite a bit these days.
My dear Marquis,
How unkind of you to use such language in my house to my guests.
So I also have my reasons why he is not invited to my wedding.
No such rudeness is intolerable.
Neither is my stepmother, by the way.
I humbly beg your pardon.
I haven't seen her in... Oh,
Whatever am I going to do?
when did I see her the last time?
My lady, you're the wounded party in this
10 years ago?
What would you
Roughly?
do with this foolish man?
I think the Marquis has seen the error of his ways.
By the grace of Andraste, you have your life, my dear. Do be more careful with it.
Yeah, I mean, why should I want to invite them?
I'm delighted you could attend this little gathering. I've so wanted to meet you.
Like 90% of my memories of those people are bad, so why would I want them at my wedding?
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Vivienne, first enchanter of Montsimard and enchantress to the Imperial Court.
Charmed, Lady Vivienne.
Ah, but I didn't invite you to the chateau for pleasant.
And I must admit, I kinda like the looks of Vivienne.
The chantry's in shambles. Only the Inquisition might restore sanity and order to our frightened people. As the leader of the last loyal mages of Thedas, I feel it only right that I lend my assistance to your cause.
So my sister is invited if she wants to come.
Or is it more personal?
Aren't you charming? It's professional, of course.
So, I haven't talked to her in, I think, 2 years? Yeah. Not the closest family bonds there. But if everything works out okay, then I'll be, this time next year, I'll be married. Oh, I wouldn't quite say that, John, but, you know, she's still one of the better ones out of the bunch. And my other stepbrother, I have two. I haven't seen him since 2011. Last thing I heard was that he was getting married. I think I have him on Facebook, but I don't even know my Facebook password anymore. I don't even know when the last time was that I logged into Facebook. Ah, well, could be worse. We weren't that close anyway. It was more of a, you know... He was the son of my mother's second husband. And that was basically all. We saw each other maybe once every 2 weeks. Back in the day, and yeah. Last time we saw each other was at my mother's funeral, so...
Master Harry said that without more ore, we won't be able to cruise.
Tell Master Harry that ore doesn't grow on trees.
Yes, Mom. I think he knows, Mom.
It's good you've returned. We heard of your encounter.
You heard? My agents in the city sent word ahead, of course.
It's a shame the Templars have abandoned their senses, as well as the capital.
And other members of my family, I will certainly not invite.
We had to do something, and now we have an opportunity.
They can, you know,
And we have the opening we need to approach the Templars.
Stay away if for all I care, and that has been discussed with my fiancée as well, and she's completely fine with it.
True, he has taken the orders somewhere, but to do what? My reports have been...
Basically, the only family members that I'm gonna invite is my dad and my sister.
Not everyone in the Order will support the Lord Seeker.
Wanted to invite my cousin, but she can't make it, she can't afford it to go, and I don't have the resources to, you know, to pay for her.
What the mages want.
No doubt what they've always wanted. Support for their cause.
We shouldn't discount Redcliffe. The mages may be worth the risk.
They are powerful, Ambassador, but more desperate than you realize.
You think the invitation could be some kind
And to
of
be
trap?
fair, it could very well be that, yeah, that in a given time I won't even have the resources to continue this.
Right now, I'm not certain we have enough to approach the Order safely.
Then the Inquisition needs agents in more places. That's something you can help with.
In the meantime, we should consider other options.
Because everything is going a bit downhill right now.
There is one other matter.
Yeah.
7 months ago, the Grey Wardens of Ferelden vanished. I sent word.
I tried for several hours today to get a certain department on the phone because of money issues, and I just couldn't get them on the phone.
I agree. The others have disregarded my.
And if I'm unable to, you know, talk to them, then in July I'll be out of money.
Heard news of a Grey Warden by the name of Blackwall. If you have the opportunity, please seek him out. Perhaps he can put my mind at ease.
And if he can't?
Then there may be more going on than we thought.
And that would be bad. Because I've got bills to pay. Quite a lot of them, in fact. And electricity has gone up, yeah, but mostly it's gas prices. Gas and petrol. Yep, that's really, really bad. I have tried to solve that issue today and couldn't get them on the phone. And believe me, I hate that has not been, you know, dealt with. The funny part about it was, however, when I called them last at around 1, and keep in mind their office times are from 8 to 6, I got a message. Please call back during our official office hours between 8 to 6, and I called at 1.
The Templars must help us close the breach. The Order was founded to fight magic.
We must first convince the Lord Seeker to bring the Templars out of exile.
We've received word from a knight recruit. They gather at Theronfall Redoubt.
It has been vacant for decades. Why go there?
We must approach the Lord Seeker.
So I will try again tomorrow at exactly 8. And
Present a plan to seal the breach. The Templars may ally
hope that I'll get someone on the phone and get this issue resolved. Otherwise I'll have to look for a new place to
The
live.
Inquisition will approach him after allying with the noblest houses in Orlais.
Which would be bad. Because the only place where I could go right now is my dad's. And he literally doesn't have the space for all of the stuff I have. And considering I'm getting married at the end of the year,
Especially when led by the Herald.
and we also have to make space for my fiancé stuff,
If it stops the sky from ripping
that
open,
would be a serious issue.
Rumors you were saved from the fate by Andraste have grown legion among the Templars.
We've done our part to encourage them.
A herald with a
And I kind of want to keep my apartment, you know?
easily set aside. That same herald returning with noble support will be reconsidered, as will the power of the Inquisition.
This could be why Andraste saved me. To lead her Templars against the breach.
So, yeah.
Perhaps also to convince the Lord Seeker to abandon the mania that has seized him.
With respect, after his appearance in Val Royeaux, hang what the Lord Seeker thinks.
We do not need the Lord Seeker. We need his Templars.
I know.
Without his approval,
I know.
the breach will not wait for our differences to settle.
And believe me, it is quite... I'm quite happy that due to certain issues that I have some happy pills. Without those, I would very likely be in a constant state of panic. So, yeah. Wait, am I going to see the Templars? I didn't really want to go see the Templars. I wanted to go see the mages. God damn it! That's what happens when I keep talking.
The Herald of Andraste. Lord Esmerel Abernash, honored to participate. It is not unlike the second dispersal of the reclaimed Dales. Nothing.
Yep.
I'd heard a Trevelyan or two.
And the thing is, I know for a fact that they will likely tell me to go back to work in the state I am, and the problem is I physically can't.
10 Orlesian houses.
I am in constant pain. Just today, I had trouble walking around my apartment because I cannot put weight on my right leg. This is not because there's something wrong with the leg, it's because of my spine.
Oh yes, ghastly looking.
It's always different from day to day, and today this is the issue. So...
Speaking of which, I don't suppose you divulge what finally got there.
So how am I supposed to work as a nurse? Can you tell me that?
What do you mean?
The Lord Seeker won't meet us until he greets the Inquisition in person. Quite a surprise after the spat in Val Royeaux.
The Inquisition only asks the Lord Seeker help us close the breach.
So one of the reasons I need to do that call is also because of retraining. I want to be retrained as something else. Preferably, I want to be a nurse's teacher. Because I have over 16 years of experience.
Here we are, Verinfol Redoubt.
And I kinda like my job.
I hate fun and kick puppies.
But, it's unlikely that I'll get that.
Send someone to greet you. Present well. Everyone is a little tense for my liking.
Look at these Ponzi gits. How many vaults are sitting unguarded right now?
The Lord Seeker changed his mind.
Yeah.
Is he known for that?
With me, it's 6 broken discs, John. 3 in the middle of my back, like right between my shoulder blades. And 3 in my lower back, slightly above my hip.
Present Knight Templar, Sir Delrin Baris, second son of Ban Jevrin Baris of Ferelden.
It's also a reason why sometimes these streams that I'm doing here are varying in length, because it has happened before in one of my streams that one of the discs in my between my shoulder blades has just shifted, and then I lost feeling in my right hand. So yeah, it was just dead. I could still move it, but I could have put a cigarette out on that hand and I wouldn't have noticed.
Nonsense. The sky burns with magic, but he ignores all calls to action until your friend...
To be quite honest with you,
Should a seeker lead the
my doctors are too, but I'm also under a good amount of painkillers.
But his goal
And as long as I'm in this armchair, my pain is minimal.
if he feels there is a holy mandate.
Or when I'm laying straight on my back, you know.
And our commanders parrot him. The Lord Seeker's actions make no sense. He promised to restore the Order's honor, then marched us here to wait. Templars should know their duty, even when held from it.
And I have one type of painkiller that if I were to, you know, sell it illegally, I could make a pretty penny. Because it's basically considered a drug. When I take that stuff, then I'm not allowed to drive. Or do work on heavy machinery.
There's important work for those born to it.
So I can tell you right now, I wouldn't even be able to attempt it, because when I take that stuff, I'm just conked out.
These are the standards. An honored right, centered on the people, the Maker, and the Order. The Lord Seeker asks that you perform the rite, so he may see the order in which you honor them.
What if I
And since it's a long-term medication, that stuff lasts for roughly 12 hours. So yeah, that is basically an entire day where I can't go out. I'm not allowed to drive. And seeing how I worked last in a home nursing service where I literally have to drive, I think you see the problem.
Refuse. Let's meet the man already.
Another thing is, you know, lifting patients, like from the bed to the wheelchair, from the wheelchair to the bed, or just moving them around in bed to do stuff. I can't do that anymore. I physically can't. It definitely is. Definitely is a stab in the back.
Traditionally,
quite literally.
in the right now explains their choices to those assembled.
This was a question of what I believe. I let faith guide my answers.
On a whim? If it wasn't to impress the Lord Seeker,
But what can I do?
bother at all.
I suppose
You know, I find the funniest thing doctors say to me actually, oh, you should go do sport and lose some weight. To those doctors I only say, guys, quite honestly, there are times when I can't get from here to my roughly 6 meter away bathroom. I have trouble doing that. And you want me to do sports. And second of all, I have lost roughly 24 pounds, so 12 kilograms, in the last 3 months. So, screw you. Yeah, they want me to do like muscle training and all that for my shoulders and stuff. I can understand it. I can understand why they want that. The problem is the exercises that they want me to do. I've tried it, and the result was me sitting there and almost crying
You were expecting the
because it hurt so much.
He sent me to die for you.
So,
Knight Captain, Lord Esmerel Abernash. Honor. It is not unlike the second dispersal of the reclaimed Dales. No doubt rank puts you above such things. A pity more people don't understand that.
This is the grand alliance the Inquisition offers.
Master Barris, I'm right in assuming the Knight Captain has seen better days.
So I sincerely hope that I will get, you know, be retrained in something that's at least close to my, you know, to my job. Something like, as I said, a nurse's teacher. That's something that I, like a tutor. That's something that I'd like to do. But I'm not meeting all the prerequisites. I would need a PhD for that, and I don't have one.
The Elder One is coming. No one will leave Theron far who is not stained red.
Maker's breath.
It's your fault, Rebellion. He wants you, not us.
Okay, so there's something wrong with these Templars. Okay, took out some other archers. Ouch, that sounds like it hurt. A lot.
We'll heal him. Let's judge the Knight Captain after we find his master.
The Knight Captain's keys. I would question the Lord Seeker about this Elder.
Like no Templars I've ever seen.
Only thing in that regard that I once had happened to me was because, you must know, aside from my screwed up back, I also have a screwed up left shoulder. And I got that before I got my nurse's training, and when I was in training, there was this one situation where my coworkers couldn't get a patient out of the bathtub. And so they called me to help, and I helped. And this absolute asshole, sorry, I can't say this different, but absolute asshole deliberately pulled his legs up as I was helping him out of the tub. And so the result was that I suddenly had all of his weight hanging off my arms. And that pulled the screw that I had in my shoulder out. So it was basically in the space between the male and female part of the joint. And yeah, it caused quite a bit of damage there. And ever since I have about 80% of movement back in that shoulder.
You think?
It's horrible.
But in terms of durability, you know, the weight that I can put on it, I'm maybe at 20%. If that. Because the lasting damage that this caused is that all the sinews and tendons that were in front here, because it took them so long to take the screw out, 3 months in fact, this screw destroyed these sinews and tendons, and they couldn't be saved.
Prepare them. Guide them to me.
So basically part of my shoulder is now not connected to my muscles.
What? All I hear is fighting.
And I have muscles. I'm not a weak person.
Show me what you are.
Well, let's just say it was really bad, especially since the timing was really bad. Because of this, you know, when you're in nurses training, usually you have, before your final exam, you have a rehearsal exam, you could say. And this happened 2 weeks before my rehearsal exam. Meaning, I missed my rehearsal exam. So, there was I actually had to apply to our government to be even allowed to take my final exam. Because of those 3 months that I, you know, basically was unable to work. They also, I also went over the times that I was allowed to miss during my training. Luckily, my grades were good enough. I was like the second or third best in my class. So they had no grounds for denying me. But, oh my word. You have no idea how paranoid I was during the application period. Because I basically had to write them a letter, fill out, I don't know, 20 forms or whatever. And prove the times that I had worked and the times that I had missed. All that. And in the end, my principal came to me, the principal of the school where I did the theoretical part of my nurse's training. It was like, look, you don't have to worry, I just got a letter in the mail, your application has gone through. But I only got that confirmation 4 days before the final exam. Had that application been rejected, I would not have been able to take the final exam. I would have had to extend my training for half a year. Minimum. But because I had good grades and basically my teachers were all vouching for me, I was allowed to take my thing. And, you know, I passed. Maybe not with flying colors, but I did pass. And that's all that counts. In the end, my final grade was, I think, 2.3. With 1.0 being the best. So basically I had a B-. And that even after, you know, missing 3 months. So I'm happy with the result. Though my grade average would have been better if ethics wasn't a topic. Because ethics is, in my opinion, yes, it is important that it is taught, but I personally think it is a bullshit topic for your final exam because basically you are graded on your opinion. And if you have a different opinion from your teacher, you know. And I had a different opinion than my teacher. I completely understood where he came from, but my opinion was different.
That's the Knight Vigilant. The Lord Seeker told us he died at the Conclave.
Anyone here not a murderous bag of spit?
Was the Knight Captain hiding the body for the Lord Seeker? Did he kill the man himself? Maker, what's happening to the Order? Make good use of it. The Knight Captain didn't. I never met the Knight Vigilant, but he was respected. Now I wonder how much of the war was the Lord Seeker and my captain.
I was just annoyed that, you know... Yeah, see, that's the thing. I had cooking classes when I was in middle school, and my cooking teacher was also kind of like that. And at one point, we had every semester, you could say, like half year of a grade, we would have a cooking exam, basically. And that year, on that particular cooking exam, I'd had a small accident happen to me beforehand. I basically slipped in front of my grandfather's driveway, fell, and knocked... I don't know how well you can see the scar here, but basically it was this area was completely open. You could see the bone, and there was coming pus was coming out of the wound because it got infected. And I just, you know, cleaned the wound, bandaged it up, and went to the cooking exam the next day. And so during that exam, one or two of my classmates helped me cutting, you know, ingredients and stuff. Because I literally could barely move this hand and arm. And I'm right-handed, so... And then I bring her my dish, and she's like, yeah, well, it's okay, but I'll have to fail you because you didn't do this all by yourself. I'm just standing there, I'm like, do you see this bandage? I can barely move my arm. She's like, yeah, everyone can say they're injured. You wanna know what I did? I was pissed at that point. So I took some scissors that were laying on one of the counters and cut the bandage off. And showed her my pus-oozing wound. She had to excuse herself to puke. And I passed my cooking exam. Well, she wouldn't believe me that I was injured. So... have a look yourself?
Is this shape useful?
Admittingly, the dish I made wasn't that, you know, good. Even in my opinion, but I still got a B. Because I think she took into account that I had to cook it with that arm. Yep, the proof is in the pudding. And the funny part about that, you bring that up in this context, is that the dessert I made for my main dish was vanilla pudding.
Do you know what the Inquisition can become? You'll see.
Yeah.
When I'm done, the Elder One will kill you and ascend. Then
Basically, the dish I made was a pork roast with bacon and cheese filling, cured in a cheese and cream sauce with bacon and herbal potatoes. And as a dessert, vanilla pudding.
Glory is coming, and the Elder One wants you to serve him like everyone else, by dying in the
Don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm an at least decent cook. And my fiance loves my cooking.
I am Envy, and I will know you. Tell me.
So my specialty that... Oh, I'm fairly sure we would, John. My specialty is pasta casserole with a cream sauce that has crab meat in it and is topped, like not just topped, but has like different layers, and there are 3 different kinds of cheese in it. One is Tilsiter, Gouda, and Old Cheddar on top. That's my personal favorite, so I call it my specialty. Or what I just made recently for my fiance and me. I had a lot of stuff left in the fridge, so I took spring onions, bacon bits, mini pepperonis, tomatoes, beef, like minced beef, and half a liter of milk, flour, salt, pepper, a little bit of curry and dill. Made a sauce out of that stuff. And then served spaghetti to that.
Our enemies have surrendered unconditionally.
The Inquisition's strength rivals any kingdom in Vegas.
Our reach begins to match my ambition, but we will strive for more. Is imitating what you can't have your only pleasure, demon?
accusing, trying to find my weakness.
Yep, basically. Or what I made for my father's birthday was I made a marinade out of honey, honey, red wine, salt and pepper. Marinated chicken breasts with that, wrapped them in bacon, slowly got them ready in the oven, and served that with a honey and herbal sauce. With pasta. So in this regard, I would have usually gone with either dumplings or potatoes, but my fiance wanted pasta. So I made pasta.
You see how glorious my Inquisition will be after you die at the hands of the Elder One.
You're hurting, helpless, hasty. What happens to the hammer when there are no more nails?
What are you? Get out!
The sad part was that my father wasn't too keen on the honey. He would have preferred it if I made it savory instead of sweet. But I personally thought that the bacon and the honey combined with the red wine and the marinade, I think that really made a good combination. Yep, to each their own. And he still devoured it. Even got seconds, so...
Envy is hurting you. Mirrors on memories. A face, it can feel, but not fake. I want
So far, I think only one of my dishes he absolutely hated. He said it tasted good, but he couldn't eat it because he said it was too spicy for him.
Why continue this?
And that was a salad.
Who's this meant to be?
Literally a salad just with tomatoes, carrots, bell peppers, lettuce, olive oil, salt, pepper, and I had one pepper in it.
part of what you're hearing, but I'm here, hearing.
And 2 packs of feta cheese.
Envy hurt you, is hurting you. I tried to help, then I was here, in the hearing. It's not...
And this one pepper, he said, made it too spicy for him. It was a mild pepper, I might say. It was not even like one of those really, like jalapeno or whatever, the stuff that I usually eat. It was a mild pepper.
I was watching. I watch. Every Templar knew when
Yep,
you
too
arrived.
spicy.
They were impressed, but not like the Lord Seeker.
The Lord Seeker.
He ate 2 bowls of it, but every time he bit on a piece of pepper, he was like, oh fuck, that's spicy. Oh fuck, I can't eat this.
Red inside. Anyway, you're frozen. Envy is trying to take your face. I heard it and reached out. And then in. And then I was here.
I would usually eat jalapenos, which are much spicier than, you know, what I served him there.
All right, Cole.
But he couldn't eat that.
How do I get out?
It's your head.
And there I went and spent, I think, like almost $30 on the ingredients.
All of this is envy. People, places, power. If you keep going, envy stretches. It takes strength to make more.
Well, basically more for me, you know. I basically ate that salad for the next 2 days.
More and more, and envy breaks down. You break out.
So, if we keep moving in my head...
I don't have that problem. I just, if I eat something that is too spicy, here's the thing, I like really, really spicy food. I can handle it. It's not a problem like with my mouth or anything. The biggest problem is with my heart. Because in 2020 I had a heart attack, and the spiciness will bring up my heart rate and everything, and that's not good. That's why I put so much feta cheese in it, because I thought, you know, that would work. It didn't. At least not for him. I had no problem eating that stuff. I loved it. Oh, and garlic was in there. Garlic. 5 pieces of garlic.
Unless you don't. You don't have to. None of this is real unless you let it be. Get out.
Fuck, now I kind of want to make my salad. So, you said side dish. I usually have that as a main dish. Like, when I make my salad, I make it as a main dish and eat it with a bread bun. Or just with a piece of buttered toast.
Where is the Herald? Let that tyrant charge me to my face.
Heresy against the Inquisition is the only charge we need.
Hmm? What effect? My heart rate goes up when I eat too spicy foods. That's what I meant. You're not the cause of that. And the heart attack was... stressful job, overweight, you know? Ah. See, here's the thing. I am currently on a diet, so making that salad would be going against my diet. But I will certainly have a little bit of a snack after the stream. which will likely consist out of a bit of soup and maybe a piece of toast. Basically, my diet right now is I eat normally every second day, and the days in between I just eat a lot less. Basically, I eat half. So, works really well for me, actually. As I said, in the last 3 months, I've lost 12.5 kilograms. And I'm approaching, like, once I get to the next 0, I'm actually considering making a video on YouTube about it. Because that diet that I'm doing right now, I'm feeling good. I'm not feeling, you know, starved or whatever. And I'm losing weight, and I'm still eating my snacks, you know, chocolate or stuff. On my normal eating days. So, where do I think there's one light left that I forgot to light so far. That's on, that's on. Pretty sure there is one on the... on one far wall that I still have to light, but I don't know where. Is it back here? No. But yeah, see, I've thought about that diet. I wanted to... At first I wanted to fast. I wanted to, like, you know, no food at all. And I tried that for 2 days. Not working. I was feeling weak, I was feeling bad. And then I remembered, wait, you have chicken stock. And so I made myself some chicken stock. And the result was I immediately felt better. Have you ever seen what a döner is, John? That's what I had. Yesterday I had a normal eating day. And that's what I got myself for dinner yesterday.
The Lord Seeker as well.
You're letting the Herald see more to sketch her shapes, but what she sees makes her stronger.
Quiet.
And believe me, I enjoyed it. Usually I would get a, you know, big döner. This time I went for a normal sized one. Because I literally, due to me doing this for 3 months now, my stomach has shrunk to the point where I can't even eat a big one anymore without feeling sick, you know? And so I got myself a normal sized one and a small serving of fries. And that's basically my treat for the week.
What then? You're making it hard for Envy to think. It'll probably come out soon. It's angry.
And the thing is, no one believes me. I've told this to a few other friends who are also struggling with their weight.
Keep going up.
There's no way you're eating like that. There's no way you're eating pizza and stuff while on a diet. I'm like, yes, I am. I literally am. Just, you have to watch it. You don't have... It's important that you don't overeat.
Almost there. Keep
Like, eat a little, see if you're satisfied. If not, then eat a little bit more, you know? But don't just shovel it in there. That's the important part that with this diet I've actually learned. And I came up with it myself. And even my fiance says that on my non-normal eating days, you know, on the days where I eat less, when I take myself a piece of toast, put a slice of cheddar on top, and drink a cup of chicken stock to that. Exactly. That's exactly. See, and on... It's what and how you eat. I'm feeling good with what I do.
What could you gain?
I get what you mean, yes. But, for example, my dinner later will likely be a cup of chicken stock with a slice of toast that simply has a slice of cheddar on top. I'm completely satisfied with that. I don't need more. Tomorrow I might eat a little bit more, but only a little bit. It's not like I'll go ahead and, you know, gorge myself on I don't know how much food. That is the important part. You don't have to do this. Also, I don't drink just water or stuff. I also drink orange juice. You know, a few vitamins and stuff. So...
I'm sorry. An envy demon replaced.
You should have seen my father's face when I told him about my diet. He was horrified. And ever since, he's basically bringing me food, afraid that I don't eat right. And I'm like, Dad, I am eating. I'm just not eating like you want me to.
It's the red lyrium, isn't it? I knew that wretched stuff was risky. They often give us new kinds of lyrium, our commanders. Some used the red stuff first to prove it was harmless. The knights would have been next. That demon turned our leaders so we couldn't question when this started.
Like, for example, my breakfast today was 1 slice of toast, 1 cup of soup, like chicken stock. And on the toast I had a slice of cheese and 2 teaspoons of pasta salad. That has like pasta, mayo, a little bit of meat in it, and peas.
Then your leaders all but corrupted the Templars for the demon.
Then we will fix it. Templar, what is envy?
A coward, brother.
Yep.
It studies, makes less mistakes, but most of all, it hides.
For lunch, I then only had a, you know, cup of stock with a slice of toast. And later, after the stream, I will basically do the same, just with a slice of cheese on top.
Show those things no mercy.
The thing is, I can eat more. I know that I can. Because you're talking to a person who, in my heyday, when I really, you know, ate like I wouldn't get food for a week. Actually, I could try that. But yeah, when I was eating like that, there was a time when I, and I'm not kidding, ate 2 family-sized pizzas. Like 2 king-sized pizzas. So yeah. Okay, we just spent a lot of skill points.
Free to pass. I hope you're what they say.
But I'll try that with the potato. I have a few potatoes in the house, actually. So I'm a weird person in that regard. I sometimes boil myself potatoes in salt water and just eat those. Because I like the taste of salted potato. Yes, but usually you have that as a, you know, as a side with some other food. But I then eat that, you know, as the main dish. Just a few boiled potatoes. And I love it. My father always looks at me weird when I do that. Like when he comes by for a visit or something and I'm just eating potatoes. He's like, son, are you maybe, you know, short on money or whatever? I'm like, well, right now, no, but, you know, thanks for asking. I was just, you know, feeling like potato. You did that for lunch today, okay. That is very good. I might do that tomorrow. It is, certainly is. So, what we used to do when I was a kid, we would make a campfire on our property and do like wrap potatoes in aluminum foil and then let the fire burn down to embers and put the potatoes in the embers. And then eat that with sour cream. Yeah, tinfoil, that was the name. That was the name of the stuff. We did that quite a lot when I was a kid.
We should return to the Great Hall.
And then, you know, cut them in half, like cut a groove in them and put sour cream in it. Mmm. That was good eating. And since we had a relatively big backyard, we could do that on our own property.
I hear fighting. We should return.
Ah, yes, we did like stuff like that. It was just amazing. Or yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, I'm curious. Do you know what Flammkuchen is? The translation into English would be, I think, fire or flame cake. that is basically, see, this is one of those things that I also sometimes get myself as a treat. Because, I mean, I could make it for myself, but you know, since my fiance doesn't live here yet, and making the dough and everything for just one person is a bit... It's not worth it. And since I can get them readily made for $1.99, you know, it's basically German answer to pizza. And I love it.
Just in time.
How many Red Templars have you fought?
Some broke through to siege the hall. More will...
So my father always, when I make the stuff, he insists on bastardizing it by putting garlic and extra cheese on top, so that basically the whole thing in the end will no longer be crunchy, but it will be very, very soggy. And in my opinion, garlic does not belong on that dish. I put garlic with almost anything, except that. Yeah, also I'm not good at making dough. My fiance is the one who is a baker among us. And she is very good at that, I might say. And I must admit, the crunch is one of the nicest parts of the experience, yes. So, and here's the thing, my fiance, for example, she likes Flammkuchen as well, but she will eat around the crust, and then afterwards eat the crust with herbal butter or some kind of garlic sauce dip. Something that I don't do, but you know, to each their own.
Look, a bunch of normal Templars are still fighting the Red Ones. Nice to know the Order's not completely crazy. I was starting to worry.
I mean, the whole thing with herbal butter I can kinda understand, but the garlic sauce? Not exactly my cup of tea, but if she likes it, then I'm happy.
The Elder One wants her dead.
Exactly.
Empress Celine.
I would have to agree.
Hates her, haunts her, wants her dead, but hides. Why? He hid other things too.
Or I remember my fiance when one of the first times she came to visit, she told me she wouldn't eat salad. She doesn't like salad or fish. And I just thought to myself, challenge accepted. Next time she came, I made salad. The salad that I described to you earlier. And ever since, she loves it. And in terms of fish, I knew she'd have problems eating, you know, some of the more intense tasting fish that I eat. So I got salmon. Alaska salmon. That was pre-made with a bolognese marinade. and prepared that with a few onions, garlic, and served that with potatoes and what was it? A white cream sauce. Basically, a slightly weaker hollandaise. And the result was that I got 1 spoonful of the fish, the rest she ate. Yeah. So much for I don't like salad or fish. It's all in how it's prepared. That's what I always say. I mean, there are some things where I personally say I wouldn't eat it because of, you know... Because I just have my... my own bias to get over there. Like, for example, snails. Snails, it's something where I think I would really have to jump over my own shadow. Or, oysters. Oysters would also be something where I would be like, nah, no. How about no? Yeah, there must be something here. Oh no, wait, so it's likely upstairs because there were stairs back here. Yeah, that's just something. Snails. I don't think I could, you know, swallow that. Or not puke, you know? Just because of the idea that I'm eating a snail. Oysters have actually been offered to me before, but I've not tried them. Simply because they weren't, you know, in a soup or something, so not done. They were just cooled, you know, how they break open the oyster and then slurp them out of their shell. I couldn't do that, no. I am sorry, but no. I mean, I understand that everyone has their own tastes and all that, but... Nope. I also couldn't quite understand. I've tried caviar at one point in my life, and I didn't like it. It was an ex-girlfriend of mine who got me to try caviar, and caviar on a cracker. Nope. I didn't like it.
Thank you for the assistance.
They're in place. On your order.
Which got her panties quite in a twist, I can tell you that much. Also that I wouldn't eat sushi with her.
Keep them off us. We'll break this beast.
Exactamundo, John. Exactamundo. And in terms of sushi, I'm just not too much of a raw fish person, you know? And she really wanted to go eat sushi with me. Had, you know, booked a table at an expensive sushi restaurant and everything. And I'm like, sweetie, I kinda don't eat sushi. And I thought you knew that. Neither do I. Which is why I don't eat it. If I want a piece of salmon, then I will, you know, put a few spices on it, put it in the frying pan or in the oven, maybe wrap it in a few herbs. You know? But I don't need the salmon to be raw and to be wrapped in seaweed. Exactly. Exactly. Fish and rice go really well together, but raw? No. No. But yeah, that kind of, not for me, but for her, back in the day, as I said, was one of my ex-girlfriends, was a relationship ender. Not quite over the fish, it was more that I was unwilling to go to that restaurant with her and at least give it a try. So, yeah. I told her, look, we can go to a Chinese place or whatever if you want Asian food, but I'm not going to a pure sushi restaurant. Because there will be nothing I can eat. Yeah, fair enough. Then yes, I got dumped over raw fish. Because I was unwilling to eat it. You know what? Tomorrow is my normal eating day. And now I know what I'll go make myself. Because I have authentic ramen noodles here that a friend brought for me when he was shopping at one of those Asian import shops.
Death to make yourself alive. I used to be like you.
I will make myself ramen tomorrow with salmon. Ramen with salmon and a hard-boiled egg. I think that, yep, that's going to be what I'm making tomorrow. Yep, exactamundo. Something that I know my fiance wouldn't eat, but you know she isn't here right now, so I can cook for myself whatever I want. And to be fair, even when she's here, I sometimes do cook stuff that I know she won't eat, but I will cook it on the side so that, you know, that it's for me, not for her. Like, that one time, I think it was... Yeah, it's the beginning of the year. My father was also here to... share dinner with us, and I really felt like mushrooms, you know? I really wanted a mushroom dish. However, I know she doesn't eat mushrooms. My father does, she doesn't. And so what I came up with, I made meatballs with fried potatoes. And a nice brown sauce. And on the side, in a separate casserole, I prepared mushrooms cut in slices with bacon bits, onions, and a little bit of garlic. And got that well done into... no! Frick. Got that well done until it was slightly reduced and the juices from the veggies had basically turned into a sauce. She didn't eat one bit of it. At the end of the night, nothing of it was left because my father and I had finished it. Basically, yeah. And she wouldn't eat it because of the, you know, mushrooms. As I said, I'm at least a half-decent cook. It's one of the few things that I'm actually proud of. And I can tell you that mushroom side dish that I made there. Oh, that was good. Because in terms of spices, the only stuff that I put on was a little bit of salt. Half a teaspoon of, not sugar, pepper. Black pepper. And a little bit of sugar. And I mixed all of that with the veggies and put it in the oven at, I think 120 degrees. And then, you know, stirred it from time to time so that it wouldn't burn. Yeah. Sadly, I know a lot of those as well.
Andraste be praised. She shielded you from its touch. We've numbers across Thedas, but we let this happen.
I remember a former friend's sister wanted to invite me for lunch at one point, and she made a pasta casserole because she hadn't liked mine. And she's like, "Oh, I'll show you how real pasta casserole is made." And I am sorry, but I couldn't eat that. Basically, what I do not entirely boil my pasta before I put it in the casserole. I only boil it a little and then put it in the casserole. The rest of the boiling is done in the sauce. And I 100% think that she never tried out that recipe before that day, because she just dumped the uncooked casserole, pasta into the casserole, put the sauce over it, and then she had the idea of having an egg stock in there. So she opened an egg and poured it in there. The result was, I'll usually leave my casserole in the oven for 45 minutes to an hour. So to ensure that the pasta is really cooked through in the sauce and that everything's well done, you know. She took it out after half an hour. And the egg had not stocked. It was still mostly liquid. The sauce tasted very watery and had not thickened at all. And she and her brother then proceeded to eat this abomination with ketchup.
Your order is a symbol that holds the people's respect. That cannot.
I suddenly wasn't very hungry anymore.
We offer you an alliance. Supplies, weapons, grounds to shelter you. All we ask is you help us close the breach.
Do we take the Inquisition's terms, brothers and sisters? The Templars will come. I hope your stronghold is ready.
We'll be ready for anyone willing to throw.
Believe me, seeing that on my plate and seeing this still liquid egg yolk on my plate running over the... God, I'm feeling sick just thinking about it. And she told me she was a better cook than me. Ugh. I would never serve someone something like that. Never. I would be embarrassed.
What you found in the captain's quarters means the officers willingly blighted half their nights with red lyrics.
Even before some of them realized the Lord Seeker was replaced by a demon.
Or I remember when I was taking care of my grandfather at one point in my life.
We still need to prepare for them. I have contacts
He
in the Lyrium trade.
requested that I make a certain dish for him. Filled bell peppers.
I'll secure funding. How many Templars?
And
A few dozen veterans.
I spent 6 hours in the kitchen to make those filled bell peppers. You know, bell peppers filled with ground, with a dough out of ground beef, egg, onions and stuff like that, and all that boiled in a tomato sauce. Spent 6 hours in the kitchen for that. Can you imagine that I didn't get a single filled bell pepper? Because my father and my grandfather finished it all?
That's fine, Cole. You just startled us.
I didn't get a single one. I made 8. You know, put them in the oven for dinner. Because I was like, it'll stay relatively warm in there until food time. And then I come down for dinner, and the casserole only contains the remains of the sauce. The pot of rice that I had cooked was empty, and there was not a single bell pepper left.
But what does he want now?
I think he really is trying to help.
Oh, I know. They basically asked me when I was making more, and I just looked at them and was like, guys, I spent 6 hours cooking, and you didn't even think to leave me one. If you want filled bell peppers again, make them yourself.
We'll need your help when the Templar veterans arrive. Take time to prepare while you can.
Or one time when I made potato cakes, out of 5 kilograms of potatoes. I made so many potato cakes out of these 5 kilos. And then the next morning I was like, you know what? You can have one of those potato cakes for breakfast with a cup of coffee, you know. No, I couldn't. My grandfather had finished all of them. He had apparently gotten a bit peckish during the night and finished all of them. I had actually cooked them to be eaten over the course of maybe 2 or 3 days. And then I knew that wasn't happening.
Excuse me. Got a message for the Inquisition, but I'm having a hard time getting anyone to talk to me.
But from that point on, I definitely knew if he didn't want to eat the dinner I had cooked, then I just had to go in the back, get a few potatoes, and make a few potato cakes for him, because those he would always eat.
We'll consider your offer.
I appreciate it. We're the best you'll find. Come to the Storm Coast and you can see us in action.
Strangely enough, one thing that he never wanted to eat was my chili.
What's going to happen? The Chantry doesn't know what it's doing any longer. Listen to Seeker Pendergast. She'll find a way to seal that breach. And when she does, the Chantry will have to admit we were right.
Yeah, see, the problem is my grandfather in the end, he couldn't take care of himself in terms of food and everything, and so I had to cook for him. And the problem was, if he knew that I had cooked it, he wouldn't eat it. Because he was under the impression that a young man shouldn't be able to cook. The only thing that he would still eat was the potato cakes. Or milk soup, actually. But if I made something elaborate, like one day I made roasted sausages with fried potatoes and a brown sauce, and a mixed salad as a, you know, side dish. He didn't eat it. Instead, because I refused to feed him because I knew he could eat by himself, he slid the plate off the table. Twice. Basically, yeah. And I was quite pissed about that, as you can imagine. Because while I hadn't spent like 6 hours or whatever on this dish, it was still a good 2 hours. And so I made him a third serving, put it in front of him and said, you know what? This is actually my portion. You have 2 choices. Either you eat it, or you won't have dinner. While you eat, I will be in the back doing the laundry. And oh my word, he ate.
Let's see what we have.
What a wonder, right?
At your service.
Oh, the watchtowers are ready. Good. So, let's get our horses. But yeah. But I can tell you one thing. My father didn't like it when he heard about that. I completely agree. My father's comment was just, well, you should have just fed him. I'm like, why should I? He can eat by himself. He has working hands and working arms. And just the fact that he did eat alone, like by himself, in the end, proves that I was right. But no. I should have fed Grandpa. Which, by the way, even from a nurse... What the hell was that? Did you see that? My character just jumped forward like 10 meters or whatever. What the hell? No, even more, because I was back there at those barrels and I ended up here. What? LOL? Teleport glitch. But yeah, basically, in the end, I didn't have a sausage that evening. I basically just had a few leftover fried potatoes and a bit of sauce. I doubt that. We actually did have several lags so far, like when the character just suddenly stops, but everything around it is still, you know...
How are these wolves?
Wait, I still haven't killed the wolves. But everything around me is still, you know, running around. That's problem with the system, but that was weird. It was real weird.
If those refugees are going to defend themselves, they'll need real defenses. I've got a few ideas.
I've built watchtowers in the areas you recommended.
Nicely done. That'll give both the refugees and our farmers some warning next time trouble pays a visit. I'll speak to the master and have weapons sent to your people at the crossroads.
But yeah. The thing is, my father never believed me when I told him that my grandfather was giving me such issues when I cooked. He doesn't to this day. And then again, I recently just told him, you know what, let's not talk about the time when we took care of Gramps. Because you saw that whole thing with rose-tinted glasses because he was your dad. I actually did all the work. I know how it was. I will definitely try to do that later on my own time. You know, trying to replicate this. Might, however, also be because my PS4 is, I think, getting a little bit, how to say it, warm. See, I should do that to mine as well. Got a PS4 Slim. Mine isn't that bad, only after a while of playing.
There's the dogs. Wolves. Whatever.
This amount of damage I can dish out as an archer, I find that very intriguing. I had a similar thing happen with my Xbox One recently when I was actually playing Dragon Age Origins on it, and when I booted up the game, it just went woo! And I'm like, what the hell?
That cave could be the lair of our strange wolves.
But yeah, with my PS4 I don't have that problem. It only happens after a few hours of playing, then I will see lags and stuff. It doesn't actually get that loud. Only gets very toasty. And since I'm sitting right next to it, you know, I notice that.
Should be safe from the wolves.
Well, they might still lose a few sheep here and there, but that's wolves for you.
Okay, so that thing is dead. VR. VR is a nice thing. Sadly, a few months ago I had to sell my VR because of money issues. I had a Oculus Quest 2, which, yeah, I had a lot of fun with. And at one point I maybe want one again, because it was really good. I especially enjoyed, what was the name? Asgard's Wrath. It's like a, imagine a hack and slash with puzzle elements, but in first person in VR. Basically, you have your shield in one arm, or on one arm, and your sword in the other hand. Or you can also equip bows and do the thing with the Vive, and the reason why I actually got the Quest 2 back in the day, was the Vive is still cable bound as far as I know. And I wanted one that, you know, gave me more freedom. So I got the Quest 2. And it was an amazing thing. Ouch. I would have to agree there. But I just liked it, you know? It was just a cool thing. Really broke my heart when I had to give it away. I agree. That is also a reason why, if I ever were to get another VR headset, you know, I'd likely get it secondhand. The prices are just insane for the most part. Oh, come on! Okay, so I cannot do that rift yet.
Is even terrain too much to ask for?
Is there a problem?
Well, you might be used to traipsing through the countryside, punching dragons.
Which is too bad, I hoped I would. But at least we now took care of those wolfies. Wolfies go bye-bye. And we now have this skill, which is really useful, not just for dealing damage, but also to evade attacks.
Those watchtowers will keep my farm.
Ah, damn it, I have to talk to his wife first.
I've sent supplies to the crossroads.
Tell her that the wolves are gone.
Deal with the wolves, and our farmers will be safe again.
I stopped the
The
wolves.
wolves should be back to normal now. There shouldn't be any further trouble.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, Asgard's Wrath was one that I really liked. Then Auditor something. I don't quite remember the name. It is kind of like Beat Saber, but with pistols. It was amazing. I'd have to play that in, you know, while sitting down. Couldn't stand that long.
Should be safer for our farmers now. You've held up your end of our bargain, Inquisition.
You'll have my whole stable in good hands to go with it.
You sent your stable hands and your horses to the Inquisition. What about you?
Well, you've cleaned up the area, and I can't say I'm not tempted. Still, it feels wrong to abandon my land to go play horsemaster again.
You know, the Inquisition comes across horses from all over Thedas.
You don't say. All right, Inquisition. I'll look to your horses myself. Never let it be said that Redcliffe...
Never let it be said that Redcliffe gave less than their best.
I'll meet you at Haven.
Alright. And you know what, guys? This is also where we will cut it for today. And I'm going to send you over to an amazing person. Who I'm sure you will like. Because I like her. And we will see each other very likely on Wednesday. Stay safe until then, my friends.